Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about astrology and energy healing. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you end up liking it, hit the notification bell. Share this video. Please share this video. I think there's people that need to watch this. So I just wanted to touch on the topics of astrology and energy healing. Maybe some of you have seen people recently talking about this. And okay, this video is directed at anyone that's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And everything I'm about to share is going to be based on what the church has put out, okay? I personally believe that celestial bodies such as the moon and sun and stars, they do have meaning, and the Lord can use them as signs for times and for seasons, but there is a line, I think, between that and then when you start to get into new age beliefs or horoscopes or other things like natal charts and you know, the meanings of different planets and stuff like that. Okay. I just recently did a video about, you know, certain things that that have happened with celestial bodies that I think do actually have meaning. But I think, you know, where that line is, where it's like something from the Lord and then something from the New Age and occult beliefs, right? I'm just going to go over a few things for you to consider, because I see a lot of people getting sucked in to this kind of belief of you know, horoscopes, even though the people that are promoting it, they're not going to call it horoscopes. That's what they're basically talking about. And it's just, let me share a few things. Okay, we're going to, and these are recent additions to the church handbook. We're going to start with that. So first of all, church members are discouraged from seeking miraculous or supernatural healing from an individual or group that claims to have special methods for accessing healing power outside of prayer and properly perform priesthood blessings. These practices are often referred to as energy healing. Other names are also used. Such promises for healing are often given in exchange for money. Now, I just became aware of another member of the church that does this kind of thing. If you've been watching Brother Guerrero's channel, he's talked about one in the past. He refers to her as JR, just her initials. Well, this one is AD. I'm going to call her AD. And this is another same type of person, not quite exactly the same, just her, you know, her own style, I guess. But she has a website, and on here, you know, you can get a energetic liver cleanse. You can get an energetic thyroid cleanse, 28-day chakra intensive. You can pay for these things, I guess, and she will provide that to you. Grounding session, preparing for the return of Pluto 2022. Personal astrology reading. Hear me out. Do these things, these services, sound like something that a member of the church should be purchasing, participating in, or administering? I don't think that you need to think really hard about this. Does this seem like something that the church would think is a good idea? I'm going to read another part of the church handbook. Okay, this is in the same section, but it's like the same like chapter, but it's a different section of the chapter. It's called the Occult. That which is God is light. That's from Doctrine and Covenants 50:24. The occult focuses on darkness and leads to deception. It destroys faith in Christ. The occult includes Satan worship. It also, not always, I don't think, but it also includes mystical activities that are not in harmony with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Such activities include, but are not limited to, fortune telling, curses, and healing practices that are imitations of the priesthood power of God. See Moroni 7:11-17. Church members should not engage in any form of Satan worship or participate in any way with the occult. They should not focus on such darkness in conversations or in church meetings. You guys, do not follow these people. Okay? Do not follow these people. Think about Lehi's tree. You had those that were holding onto the rod and making their way to the tree of life. You have others that went into the great and spacious building. But you'll recall that there was another group that was going off on strange paths, right? So kind of like in between type people. They weren't in the spacious building, but they also weren't holding on to the iron rod. They were traveling in strange paths. I would argue that these kind of people, AD, JR, and people that listen to them and pay for their services are going off on strange paths. Okay. This person has, the interpretations of what certain planets mean and conjunctions and natal charts and what's supposed to happen when planets are in certain positions and so on and so forth. Those aren't based on gospel principles. They don't come from gospel sources. I don't even know where they come from. They would argue, and I've heard this person argue, well, it's just like the weather. It's not controlling your life. It's just knowing, what season you're in. And in the way that this person interprets, the planets and so forth, I do not think that that's the case. And I hope that you don't either. I really don't. Like, this is not good. It's not good. Now, in preparation for this video, I pulled up a number of different things on the church website, and I was shocked to find how many different articles came up about this, about astrology. Okay, so there's one here. It's called, "What Should Your Attitude Be Regarding Zodiac Signs, Astrology, and Horoscopes?" Answer by A. Burt Horsley. This is from April 1972. I guess it's the ensign. It doesn't say here, but I think it's the ensign. His answer is, basically, our attitude should be the same as it is about fortune telling, reading tea leaves, crystal ball gazing, or palm reading. To put it bluntly, any trust in such things is sheer superstition. This was back when, you didn't have to be so careful with your words, right? They were able to talk a little bit more openly and bluntly and hit things right on the nose. Okay, that's the first article, and it's a whole article. I'm going to link all of them below because I think people are getting confused with this stuff and they think that it's okay, it's benign, or it's it's not. It is not. It is not. And it's not something that you should take lightly. There's another article here. It's called My Study of Astrology. This is by James E. Talmage. When he was younger, he dabbled in that. He actually learned it really good. And this is how the story ends. It talks about like how he tried to use it with like at school with like a bully. And he says here, "As I slowly walked homeward, I was in an unusually thoughtful state. I began for the first time in my life to have serious doubts about astrology. Amongst my family, my appearance created considerable consternation. Then my father reminded me of his oft repeated injunctions against fighting, and to impress the lesson firmly upon my mind, he proceeded to illustrate his lecture by hitting me several times with the buckle end of his stout strap." Okay, this was convincing. My doubts vanished, and with them, all my confidence in the horoscope. I knew that astrology was a fraud. This is James E. Talmage that said that. He just said that astrology is a fraud. There is another one here. It's called, this is also in an ensign, and it's called Questions Astrologers Avoid Like Cancer. And you go down here and it says this: unless you start to believe that it's something more than a fad, for the plain facts are that astrology is A, an ancient form of magic, B, absolutely without objective evidence or scientific support, C, a rotten way to make life's decisions, D, Satan's counterfeit for real prophecy, and E, all of the above. The church is pretty clear when it comes to this topic. Okay, and people like AD, JR, and there's others. There's others. These things are not of the Lord. They're not. When you go to the topical guide for astrology, it says, see sorcery and superstition. When you go to sorcery, it says, see also false prophets, magician, superstitions. I'd like to hear your comments. You know, this is exactly why I think I'm doing this YouTube channel. I kind of got the prompting to do it, right? Like just like a day or two before, I wasn't even thinking about YouTube at all, and then it just kind of like hit me, and I started. And I think that people like me, people like Troy from the Last Dispensation channel and others, we need to stand up and not fight this, you know, but stand up for our values and talk about what's right. And occasionally we have to talk about these kind of things so that we can help those that are confused. And I would just encourage you, do not go down this path. It is not good. I have no idea why there are people talking to this individual, why people are entertaining the things that she's saying, which is all rooted in the New Age and traditional, you know, learning of astrology. It's not good. There's just a couple more here. This is from another Ensign article, The Precarious Age of Aquarius. And it associates it with the occult. There's also another one called, What Do the Scriptures Say About Astrology? And it just has like a list of scriptures and what they say. And let me just read a few of those for you, okay? Leviticus 19:31. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards or witches, I would also say, to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. Isaiah 8:19-20. And then when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep, and that utter, should not a people seek unto their God? For the living to hear from the dead? To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. I don't mean to be harsh about this, but what I've seen recently, it's very concerning the way that people are responding to this person and what she claims to know and claims to be and claims to have the power to do. It's very, very concerning. It wouldn't be so concerning. It would still be concerning if it was like members that are from other churches, but from our own church, you know, giving heed to somebody that claims to know the interpretation of planets and be able to interpret your life based off of a natal chart. A natal chart is where, you know, where all the planets were at the time that you were born, and then at different times in your life, like when a planet returns to where it was, but you know, it's like that type of thing, right? I wish I didn't have to do a video about this, but I do. And I hope that you'll listen to me. I hope that more than that, you'll listen to the Spirit and realize that the Spirit is not with individuals like that. They're not. They are, look, I'm wearing a cowboy hat, but I'm not a weirdo. People like that are weirdos. Okay, I know that sounds really bad, but it's strange, it's odd, and hopefully there's some part of you that can sense that. It's not within the mainstream of the church, and it would appear, even up until recent times, the church has been pretty firm on its position in regards to this kind of thing. So please do yourself a favor. Do not buy in to what people like that say or their followers, and stick to the straight and narrow path. Okay. Yes, President Nelson recently said that, the moon, the stars, they all have eternal value and significance, but I don't think that he was meaning in this sense, right? I would encourage you to read all these articles if it's something that you're really confused about, because there's no doubt where the church stands on it. If you are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this is the church's position on this. And we should not be entertaining these kind of ideas or these kind of people. They can go off and do whatever they want. But as for us, let's stick to the Lord, and let's stick to the priesthood, and let's stick to the gospel. So that's all I have to say in this episode. This is not a fun one to do at all. I'm going to be talking about this again. I might even do like a video on each one of these articles. I don't know. I'm going to be talking about this. We're going to do me and Troy are going to do a joint video about this. It's disturbing, but you don't have to buy into it. Okay. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, share it. Please share this video, because we need to be sounding the alarm about stuff like this, because this is the type of stuff that creeps in if we're not careful, and if people like me, you, don't say anything about it. It's not okay. It is not okay at all. And I'll talk to you guys later.